Ladies and gentlemen, the impeachment of President Trump is about money. It's about money. It's not about national security because he wanted the Ukraine to investigate Biden, who's pure as the driven snow, and he's so afraid of the no malarkey bus tour that he just had to interfere in the election like Putin did with Facebook ads that nobody saw that inevitably gave Madam Secretary the popular vote. How does that work? Anyway, this is Fortune. Well, let me give you just December 17th, 2019, today, ladies and gentlemen, David Brock, PAC, drops $2 million into anti-Trump ads. Okay, he is not doing this for Warren or Bernie, and certainly not for Biden. He's not doing this for the No Malarkey bus tour. This is December 17th, 2019, Washington Free Beacon. David Brock, PAC, drops $2 million into anti-Trump ads. Guess what? It's $2 million to $50 million. Did you know this? So when I said in 2017, Clinton 2020 is a reality, get ready for 8 years of Trump. Impeachment, it's not just about impeachment. This is not just about President Trump getting impeached for nonsense or, President Trump getting investigated because of a dossier that Clinton purchased. It's about a political machine linked to a Rolodex of individuals and political action committees and sources of fundraising. When Andrew Gillum, the progressive Democrat in Florida, the progressive politician, needed money, when Bob Menendez in New Jersey needed money, when either you're progressive or establishment, you go to Hillary Clinton. They all campaigned alongside and fundraised alongside Hillary Clinton during midterms. So Clinton raised $1.2 billion. She'll raise closer to $2 billion this election. It's going to be Clinton versus Trump, but just follow the money. The Democratic Party talks a big game. At the end of the day, AOC, you can look at, the wonderful pundits in that network has millions and millions of subscribers? Well, they got $20 million in venture capital funding. Okay, they're not taking money out of politics. No Democrat and no progressive is taking money out of politics. That's a bunch of nonsense. That's a bunch of malarkey, to borrow Biden's phrase or his slogan. $200 million was funneled from very idealistic voters back into the DNC. What do you think happens when Bernie Sanders donate this campaign in 2020 and believe me, they will not cheat me this time? The money he doesn't spend goes to the DNC. You think he pockets the money? No. You think when Kamala Harris or Beto O'Rourke, if you gave them money, where do you think that money goes? It's back to the DNC, and they still have a fundraising agreement with Clinton. It goes right back to Clinton because she's running again in 2020. And the fundraising apparatus, she got, close to $80 million from down-ticket Democrats. That's according to Politico. And according to Donna Brazile, there was an agreement between the DNC and Clinton campaign. But here, David Brock, PAC, drops $2 million into anti-Trump ads. I'll get to the $50 million in a second. A super PAC led by liberal operative David Brock has dropped more than $2 million into advertisements against President Donald Trump. This is during impeachments. During the impeachment of the president. Why do you think that's taking place in December 17, 2019? He's going to be impeached for nothing in a day or so. Now, the American Bridge PAC, we'll get to it in a second. It's right. This is public record. A Democratic Opposition Research Committee disclosed $250,000 in new independent expenditures for advertising against Trump, according to filings posted to the FEC's website late. Okay, the new disbursements come on the heels of $1.96 million the group spent on similar efforts. Okay, in November, the expenditures from Brock's PAC over the past several weeks appear to be the PAC's initial foray into the 2020 presidential race. Okay. Many Democratic operatives and organizers expressed, a longtime Clinton loyalist who founded Media Matters. All right, so we can go into David Brock, correct the record, all that stuff. They spent $1 million trolling people in 2016. Why is that important, ladies and gentlemen? When Clinton eventually runs and then loses again, I will have called this in 2017. One reason is because of the money. Nobody can fundraise like Clinton. Here, Fortune. So you take an article from today, the Washington Free Beacon, American Bridge PAC. Okay, well, what's that all about? What's the American Bridge PAC? Oh, okay, March 21st, 2019, Democratic Super PAC launches $50 million effort to weaken Trump in 2020. It's a David Brock PAC. David Brock does not have any ties to Bernie Sanders. If anything, he tried to, obliterate Bernie Sanders. He doesn't care about Warren because Warren is there just to split Bernie's movement into two. It's now a bowel movement. And he certainly doesn't care about Biden. So the 2020 presidential election is still okay, but not just candidates, but it's not just candidates who are announcing their intentions early. Super PACs are too. The biggest super PACs are linked to Clinton. American Bridge is David Brock's PAC, and it was tied to Clinton's 2016 campaign. American Bridge, one of the largest Democratic super PACs, is launching a $50 million effort to decrease support for Trump among working-class voters in the Midwest. Isn't that interesting? So they're trying to get Trump's base, or so to speak. Trump's base is 60-plus million people. They try to narrow it down to a base, but no. But here, according to the report, American Bridge and its affiliated nonprofits are currently on a fundraising tour. Okay, bumping its budget from $30 million to $80 million ahead of the 2020 election. So, while the PAC has been heavily involved in Senate, House, and gubernatorial races in the past, this is the first time it plans to substantially contribute to a... Okay, for now, American Bridge is staying neutral. Okay, so here we go. So, here we have, they're staying neutral in Democratic primary. Yeah, right. American Bridge joins another PAC, stepping it up in 2020. Then you just look inside here. This is the Center for Public Integrity, April 7th, 2016, inside Hillary Clinton's big money cavalry. Dave Leventhal, Editor-at-Large, April 12th, 2015. Now, Hillary Clinton formally launched... Okay, so just look, and it goes on to talk about the American Bridge Super PAC. The group describes itself as a progressive research and communications organization committed to holding Republicans accountable for their words and actions. American Bridge. Okay, so there's an American Bridge. There's American Bridge 21st Century. So it goes on to talk about how this PAC was linked to Clinton, and if you look, it was founded by David Brock. Priorities Action is founded by Brock, as is this other super PAC. American Bridge, most recent federal tax founded, and it reported net assets of, with David Brock as chairman and treasurer. Now, David Brock is interestingly enough, he has Correct the Record, American Bridge. This is hilarious. He's like Hillary's best friend forever. Ready for Hillary PAC. Oh, wait, no. Is he part of Ready for... He's part of a whole... Okay, so he has Correct the Record, American Bridge. What else does he have? He has a whole bunch of other PACs. Priorities USA Action. And why am I interested in this? Okay. And a whole bunch of other political action committees. Okay. They're all linked to the same person who's linked to the same person. This is not like some kind of, flat earth thing. This is, it's just the way it's done in the Democratic Party. Here, go to the Center for Public Integrity inside Hillary Clinton's big money cavalry. David Leventhal, Published April 7th, 2016. Public record. Public record. Go to the Fortune. Fortune magazine, Democratic Super PAC launches $50 million effort to weaken Trump in 2020. They're talking about the American Bridge PAC, which is what the Center for Public Integrity was talking about March 25th, 2019. Fortune. And it's today. You can go to today. It's the article. David Brock PAC drops $2 million into anti-Trump ads. A super PAC led by liberal operative David Brock. Well, it's the American Bridge PAC. That's the American Bridge is the PAC that's launching a $50 million effort. He's a hardcore Clinton loyalist. Obviously, she's running again. Look, everyone, I was the first person and the only person for a long time to talk about this. Now everyone's talking about, oh yeah, Clinton's going to come into the race. The issue is a $50 million spending extravaganza. Why do you think it's taking place? And also, why do you think they're beginning the spending now? Because they always were going to wait for Clinton. After impeachment, the Democratic primary is in complete shambles. Impeachment is all about, really, what it's not even about really Trump. It's about Biden's conflicts of interest, potential misconduct, potential wrongdoing regarding the vice president's son, who has a litany of problems and issues pertaining to the money he got from Burisma, which, by the way, lost a paternity suit. And you should say, really, he won. He's now a father, and he's actually going to be a dad with his wife, too. The whole story, it's a whole big story. Anyway, look, he should be happy. Okay, but instead of being happy that he has, I guess, 2 children being born, now he took a paternity case, lost. Now his tax records are going to be disclosed, Biden, Hunter, and now the judge or the lady wants to find out how much money Burisma paid him. The issue here is that this impeachment is going to undo the No Malarkey tour. It's not going to hurt Trump. This bolsters Trump. I check out my segment after this one regarding Carly Fiorina. She's like, oh yeah, he needs to be impeached. Well, yeah, but I'll still vote for him in 2020. It's like, that's the worst nightmare of Democrats. Are you kidding me? They've devoted their lives to convincing everyone that he shouldn't, nobody should vote for him. And, and people are voting for Trump. They don't care. They know, look, Democrats see Trump has become Teflon, number one, because he actually doesn't commit any crimes. Clinton did commit crimes, and Comey covered them up. James Comey covered up all, and then he admitted to intentional, because when he says, well, there were mistakes, the mistakes were intentional. Inspector Clouseau, we know what's going on. And that's the intent. I love how this reverence for government agencies, but no reverence for the executive branch. Interesting. How does that work? No reverence for the executive branch, but reverence for the FBI? Sorry. I'd rather have reverence for President Donald Trump, who you might not like his personality, but at least it's better than, oh yeah, this Flint water is really good. It's not poisonous anymore. President Obama drank Flint water while it was still poisonous. Hello? How is that presidential? How is that not infinitely worse than a tweet? How is a failed NATO intervention that destroys a country in Libya not more offensive than anything Trump has ever said? How is that? And that's not like some kind of, I'm a Trump supporter, but it's not like some kind of lefty logic where everything's morally relative and, oh yeah, No. When a failed NATO intervention that actually obliterates a country and sends it off into chaos and mayhem, where people are actually sold at auction, and you have areas where it's like Mad Max, and you have horrendous groups taking over large swaths of land, all because of a NATO intervention that President Obama says, well, it's my biggest mistake. Well, okay, that's not presidential. That's what Trump is fighting against. When he tweets out something hilarious or vulgar or belligerent, at least he's not engaging in what President Obama engaged in a very classy, presidential lofty manner. Bush did the same thing. You had baby Bush, who was the worst president of all time, obliterate a region of the planet and then say, well, the intelligence reports say, what can I tell you? It was a faulty intelligence failures. And then they expect us to revere Facebook ads. That's what Trump is going up against. Professor Victor Davis Hanson talked about that in The Case for Trump. Everyone should read that book. By the way, check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Clinton is running again in 2020. That's obvious. But the impeachment issue, the impeachment is about money. It's about, they already cheated Bernie Sanders. So all of the most exciting policy objectives will never happen. Medicare for all, that's a Green New Deal. That'll never happen, but they'll get people to say the sky is falling on both issues and other issues. And then the Democrats will say, well, we might not get there quick, but at least if you go with us, you have a chance. And then people will be deceived again because they don't want to. People on the left, their biggest fear is it's not that Medicare for all might not happen. The biggest fear of most people on the left is being called a Trump supporter. That's why they're all going to be funneled to Clinton. Clinton's going to run again. The money machine is starting. The $2 million or the $50 to $80 million has already started. So give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right there.